What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for tuning back in for another video. Today we're going to be answering the question that I get all the time, and that is what size tire and what wheel setup do you run? To start off with, just the big basics. They are 33 by 12.5 by 17 tires, and the wheels are Mammoth Boulder with the fake bead-lock style rings. They are for a JK, so they are the 5x5 bolt pattern. And then behind that, I have a 2-inch spacer that is forged aluminum and hub-centric. You will go through ball joints running this big of a spacer with this large of a tire. I've replaced both of mine so far, so please be aware of that before you do this setup. And then with the 33 by 12.5 by 17s, those are Atturo Trail Blade Mts, and they are load range D to answer all those questions. As you can see over here, we've got some clearancing we had to do with the fender liner, and then we did just a touch right there on the bumper. It wasn't needed on the other side, so keep that in mind when you do decide, if you do decide to run this same setup. And then as you can see over here, with a little bit of rust that is starting, you have to do the pinch weld mod, and you have to get quite aggressive cutting deep underneath there, as you can see. I didn't do that initially. That's why it's starting to rust, because I did not paint it. But once you get on some, if you do actually take it on trails and you get on some really tight corners and you're going downhill, which is what I did, the pinch weld will cut into your tires. I'll see if I can see it from right here. This is the damage. I did this probably 15,000 miles ago, so it's still plenty of it left in here. I'm not sure if it's on this tire, but there are some quite deep cuts. Yeah, you can kind of see going down that edge, and then it gets really close into the sidewall as well. So that is the setup that I run. If you do run this big of a tire, you will need to adjust your bump stops, because these tires will top out into the back fenders and the front fenders. If you run a large enough lift to accommodate for them, they will still end up rubbing. So keep that in mind when you put your new springs in. You're going to need a longer bump stop. I believe JBA Off-Road does sell longer bump stops for the rear. For the front, I have no idea what to do, and so I just decided to send it, and I eventually paid the price. And I've seen a lot of people who run 33 by 12.5s on the same lift that I do. We all seem to pay the price where you hit the top of your fender. It's just something that it just happens. They're so big. If you get in a deep enough spot, it will pop it. So you can adjust the bump stops. I've talked to people who have done it. I've not asked or inquired how to do it, which is something, because it's obviously a little too late for me to do it. So that's definitely something that I will probably try to make a video on, because it can really save you messing up a front fender. That is what this whole situation here is. I've got to go through and replace this clip actually that fell out. That's kind of the main problem going on here. But I'm not sure if you can see any of the lines that it messed up. I guess you can see here on the door, it kind of it just didn't agree with being pushed up from that point. And you can see like there's a large gap here. That gap obviously used to not be able to fit my finger in there. It used to be a lot closer, kind of like this gap is. So you will pay the price if you do not properly prepare your vehicle to run this big of a tire. And especially with this offset, I'm not really sure of other people. I believe it's like Issa_WK. His is white. I believe he hit his fenders as well with the same Atturo Trail Blade MT 33-inch tires. But you can obviously avoid that somehow. I'm not sure exactly. I will try to get back to you guys with how to do that. But that is the wheel and tire setup that I run. As you can see, they stick out quite a bit. So if you do appreciate your paint at all, it's probably not the best idea to run a 12.5 wide, maybe like a 10.5, 11. If you think about it, that'll stick out to probably about here, which is definitely a lot less. I did this for a specific reason. If you're ever going, I've seen a lot of people who have been in accidents, or if they're driving down the trail with tires that stick out from the body of the vehicle. As you can imagine, the first thing that gets hit is the tire, and instead of the body. So You'll have way less damage from bumping into things on trails that you otherwise wouldn't be able to avoid. And then I've seen accidents happen where people merge from this lane over into the vehicle, and instead of hitting the vehicle, they hit the tire. Especially if it's a smaller car, it will just rub against this tire and you'll leave a big old rubber streak on the side of their vehicle and you'll have zero damage at all. That is another good component of having a tire that sticks out farther than your wheel. So the first thing that will be hit is your tire. And then obviously, then you just have suspension issues or problems like that if you have a large enough vehicle run into your tire. But these tires are super aggressive. Another thing on the trails is with this outside, with most mud tires, I think all mud tires have some sort of tread on the outside to grip onto things. So if you are driving down a really tight trail, instead of your vehicle sliding down against the edge of a trail or something, your tire will quickly grab that. And instead of feeling the body of your vehicle being dragged along the edge, you can quite quickly feel your tire grip because it will pick your whole vehicle up, and then you can know to turn the wheel in the direction you don't want to be going into, and then it will put you back down off of that ledge. So there's just a lot of good advantages of having a tire that sticks out. Obviously you don't need quite this aggressive of stance, but I mean, if that's what you enjoy, you definitely can get that from this exact setup. So I hope that helps clear things up. I'm definitely gonna link this to a lot of people who ask, because people ask all the time, and I've never officially told you guys what wheels I'm running. I think I might have told like 2 people. I think both those people bought these wheels to get the exact same setup. And I mean, this setup really is great. As long as you aren't like super picky about how the outside of your vehicle looks, because it'll constantly be dirty. Even a small puddle just like that, it will just cover the whole side of your vehicle in dirt and mud and water, and it will fling stuff up onto the roof. It's incredible where that stuff will throw the things that you're driving through. I'll insert this picture from when we went off-roading. We went through, it was just like slushy mud and snow, and my Jeep just got completely covered in it. I probably spent $6 to $8 just in water trying to power wash all of that off the outside and then obviously the undercarriage. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new so you can keep seeing all the content that keeps coming. Turn the bell on so you get notifications. I post twice a week, once on Monday and once on Friday. If you guys want, shoot Impulse Fab a DM and get one of these grill inserts. They look incredible in the front of a vehicle. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. I just wanna know what it feels